Hello boys and girls, a very good evening and welcome to this live refresher session for the SSC CGL Tier 1 exam, which has now been postponed for a couple of months according to some sources, right? But however, your preparation has to continue without losing the momentum so that you can maximize your chance of selection, right? I know it's a kind of disappointment that the exam gets postponed by such a long time. Right, 2 months is not a small window, right? So it would be difficult for those who have been preparing very seriously. On the other hand, there will be a segment of students who will take it as a good news because their preparation was still incomplete or they hadn't really prepared seriously for this exam. So I am sure there will be a mixed response to this news of exam getting postponed. But like I said, all of you should continue your preparation and continue your practice because that's the only shortcut. The more you practice, the easier it gets, especially with sections like general intelligence and reasoning and some areas of quantitative aptitude which are tested in such exams. Now in this session today, we will be discussing two sections, quantitative aptitude and general intelligence and reasoning, which were asked in the last All India mock exam. Right? I'm sure all of you are aware of the new calendar that has been published, right? There is a change in the schedule a little bit. So according to that, you will have an all India mock exam on the SSC CGL pattern every weekend, and we will have 2 live classes every week covering the questions asked in the all India mock exam. So today is the first session for the same. We'll be looking at quantitative aptitude and general intelligence and reasoning from the last weekend's all India mock exam. I see that many of you have joined the chat already, so good to see you all. If you're all set, we can get started. I think I would like to start with quantitative aptitude because that section is going to take a little bit of time. General intelligence and reasoning is a cakewalk, if you ask me, right? And scoring 45 plus out of 50 should be very, very easy for anyone here. So we will look at general intelligence and reasoning towards the end of the session. Let's start with aptitude first. So are you guys ready? I can see some comments here. Chandrahas Yadav says, good evening. Are you planning for any topic wise sessions for SSC Quant as the exam has got postponed by more than 2 months? Well, I'll be very honest, Chandrahas, there is no such plan to conduct topic-wise sessions. We will only be doing all India mock exams and discussing those papers. However, for some important or high weightage topics like geometry, trigonometry and algebra, we may consider doing some special live classes, but there is no commitment. We have already done some special live classes for those topics according to the earlier schedule of SSC exam. We may do so in the coming months as well. Yeah. And I see some of you congratulating Kshitij here. And why is that so? He says, I got a job as network engineer at Amazon, Gachibowli, which is in Hyderabad, for those who are not aware. Should I leave that for other competitive exams? Well, that's that I think is a more of a personal decision that you'll have to make, Kshitij. It depends on a lot of factors, which I think this is not the right forum to discuss. We can catch up if you can walk into the office sometime, or in general I would say if you want to start your career like you've been waiting for long, or is there anything like that, then maybe you start with that job and parallelly prepare for such competitive exams, right? I'm sure there are enough people out there who are already working in some company or some MNC, and they are parallelly preparing and getting ready for such competitive exams. So I think you can do both at the same time. So on one hand, you will have this job and you will be earning already, and then on the other hand, you are trying to start your career in the domain that you like. Okay, so let's get started. Like I said, we will start with quantitative aptitude and then move on to the simpler section, general intelligence and reasoning. So let me present the questions to you all. Well, I think we need not discuss all the questions because some questions are really silly, and the explanations have already been given in your practice site, so you can check out the explanations. We will discuss the typical ones or the ones where we think we can really apply a smart method and arrive at the answer faster. So presenting the first question to you all, by the way, from quantitative aptitude, which is on your screens here. Remember, practice is the key. So you have to practice cutting down the number of steps that you write on paper so that you can get to the answer as quickly as possible. Now look at this first question, right? What does it say? It says the simple interest on a certain sum of money for 3 years at 8% per annum. Now by the time you finish reading this part of the question, you should know that it is 24%. Simple interest at 8% per annum for 3 years is 24%. So simple interest on a certain sum of money for 3 years at 8% per annum should now become simple interest is 24% of whatever sum of money. Let's assume the sum of money is P, right? Now, so this simple interest is half of the compound interest on rupees 8,000 for 2 years at 10%. Now, 2 years at 10% per annum. Remember, earlier case was simple interest. This case is compound interest. 2 years at 10% per annum. If you all have gone through our videos of simple and compound interest, would know that it is 21%. How do we do compound interest calculation? Effective percentage. A plus B plus AB by 100. So 10 plus 10 plus 10 into 10 by 100. That makes it 21%. So simple interest is 24% of P. Compound interest is 21% of 8,000. Now according to the question, the simple interest is half of this compound interest. So find the sum placed on simple interest. Meaning find the value of P. What is P is the question. So like I said, like I'm trying to show you, half of the solution or more than half of the solution is done by the time you're reading the question itself. Yeah, what do? You should say 24% of P is equal to half of 21% of 8,000. That's understanding. That's it. One equation, one variable, solve and you will get the answer. Right? 24% of P, that's the simple interest. It is half of what? Compound interest, which is 21% of 8,000. Now, if anybody here tries to calculate 21% of 8,000, he is simply wasting his time. Remember, percentage on both the sides of the equation you can cancel out. Right? This is a multiplication, right? You can cancel it. Right? I can say this is like simple 3 into 8 and this is 3 into 7. And 8 here goes 1,000 times. So basically 7,000 by 2, it is 3,500. So the principal P is going to be 3,500. And that's the final answer. Option 1, 3,500. Yep. So only one step and about 10 seconds in my view, you should be able to crack this. It's a very simple question. You just have to play with those numbers to arrive at the answer. So 3,500, option 1 is the correct answer, which I think many of you have got, right? Let's move on to the next question. The next one is on the screens here. On your screens now. Yeah. Try this. The price of sugar increased by 20%. By what percent must a housewife reduce the consumption of sugar so that the expenditure on sugar is as before? Now these are typical questions asked in SSC exams, right? And a common question type. You know, you should be like a pro in answering such questions. It should not take more than 5 seconds in my view to mark the answer to this question. Anyway, I'll give you all some time to write out. Let's see how many of you get the right answer. Quick. Try to cut down the number of steps. That's the key. Got it? 16, 2 by 3. Option 1 is what I see as the answer. Okay, I think I'll come to the screen. There's a very interesting comment from Prashant Sathu. He says, the questions asked in SBAPO mains were different from what we practiced in the mock test. Please upload mock test as per the questions asked in the mains. Well, Prashant, unfortunately, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic, this is a genuine point that I would like to make. We cannot predict what questions will be asked in the SBAPO mains exam, right? The pattern or the type of questions. Any mock exam that we upload on the platform, whether it is a regular mock exam or an all-India mock exam, is just a, it's a replication of the pattern of the exam, not the pattern of questions, right? The scheme of exam is replicated, not the pattern of questions or the type of questions. So I would say it's unfortunate that the questions maybe did not match, or rather I would say we will be called really lucky if the questions we ask in mock exams are similar to what is asked in the real SBAPO mains exam. We will try and make sure that next time onwards when such exam comes up, we will consider the new pattern of questions which have been asked this time. But it's really unreasonable if you expect us to ask questions which will be asked in the future exams. I mean, I have no clue about what will be asked in the next exam. Even what we are discussing now for the SSC CGL Tier 1 may not be similar to what will be asked right? We never know. So the point is, we will try and do our best. I'm not denying that question matched or did not match, but the point is, the expectation, if I go by the lines that you have mentioned, is a little unreasonable. Okay, now answers to this question. Option 1, all of you have got 16, 2 by 3 percentage, 16.66 percentage, right? 16.66 percentage, yes. So let's solve this now. What does it say? The price of sugar increased by 20%. Price of sugar went up by 20%. By what person must a housewife reduce the consumption of sugar so that the expenditure on the sugar is as before? Now, if you want to solve the question by the regular method, it becomes very, very time consuming. However, I would like to explain that to you, right? What is this? The price of sugar increased by 20%. By what percent must a housewife reduce the consumption of sugar? So we are talking about two variables. One is price, the other is consumption, so that the expenditure on the sugar is as before. Is as before means what? It is as before means it does not change. Right? Expenditure does not change. It remains unchanged. Right? The expenditure does not change. Now, if you look at all the three terms here, price, consumption and expenditure, what is the relationship? Expenditure is equal to price into consumption, or price into quantity. Consumption is nothing but quantity, right? So this is the equation that we are supposed to play with. Expenditure, we all know, is price times quantity. Suppose the price of sugar is 20 rupees a kg and the quantity bought is, let's say, 5 kgs. The expenditure will be what? 20 into 5, 100. But in the next case, the price has increased by 20%. So 20 becomes 24 rupees after increasing by 20%. So what should be the new quantity so that the expenditure is same? Expenditure cannot change from 100. Expenditure will remain 100 itself, but the quantity will change. And based on that change in the quantity, you have to find out how much is the reduction. By what percent must the housewife reduce the consumption? Okay, so how do we solve it? Let's assume the price is P. P1 is equal to 100. Q1 is also equal to 100. Which implies E1 will be what? 100 times 100. 100 into 100. Which should be equal to E2. Why is it so? Because the price does not change. P1, Q1, E1 is the first set. P2, Q2, E2 will be the second set. E2 is the expenditure in the new case. Expenditure in the new case will also be the same as expenditure in the earlier case. 100 times 100. Now, we know that E2 equals to P2 into Q2. You don't have to write all these steps by the way. I'm just trying to explain the method. Which means 100 into 100 should be equal to, what is P2? The new price. See, the price increased by 20%. So, if the original price is 100, the new price will be how much? P2 will be 120. 20% upon 100 is 20. So, 100 plus 20, 120. Into Q2. Now, solve for Q2. What is Q2? Q2 will be what? I think this is like 5 times and 6 times. So, basically Q2 equals to 5/6 of 100. So, I can say this 100 is nothing but Q1, if you see. So, basically Q2 equals to 5/6 of Q1. You understand the relationship. So, Q2 has come out to be only 5/6 of Q1, which means how much is the reduction? 1/6 is the reduction. The new quantity is only 5/6 times the original quantity, which implies the reduction is 1/6. Reduction in the quantity is 1/6. And 1/6 is nothing but 16.66%. All these are calculations that you are expected to know by heart, right? You should know that the fraction 1/6 is equal to the percentage 16.66 or 16/2/3, right? So the point that we conclude from this is the new quantity is only 5/6 of the original quantity, which means the quantity has reduced by 1/6. So the housewife should reduce the consumption by 16.66%, which is option 1. 16.66% so that the expenditure remains the same. Now comes the important point. Well, the method is correct, the answer is correct. This is not what we are going to do in the exam. So strike it off. This is not the best way to solve the question. It is correct. The method is correct. Let me tell you, the method is correct. Some of you may also know a shortcut formula to solve such questions, but do not depend on any shortcut formula or anything. Let me just give you a simple technique or a trick which can help you solve these questions like a piece of cake, right? So 16.66 is the answer. The method is also correct. I am repeating myself. But then we cannot do all these in the exam. All this in the exam. So how do you solve it? Very, very simple. The technique is this. In such cases, it's simple. What works is this. 20%, right? 20%. What is 20%? 1/5. Convert this to fraction. I have explained this in our videos as well. You can check it out. But for those who are not aware, right? 20% is 1/5. 1% is given, that is 1/5. This is a standard question. The format will remain the same. The sugar may change to cereals, or may change to rice, or may change to tea, whatever the commodity, right? The terms may change, but then numbers may change, but the context of the question remains the same, right? So basically 20% is given, convert that to fraction 1 by 5. Now, by what percent must a housewife reduce the consumption? We are trying to find out the other percentage. 1% is given to us. What is the other percentage is the question. So 20% is one of them. What is the other percentage? How much is the other percentage? So by what price must a housewife reduce the consumption? Reduce the consumption. Now this word reduce is important. Focus on the word reduce. Reduce. The housewife has to reduce the consumption. The housewife has to reduce the consumption. Now, meaning you have to reduce this value. Reduce it, right? You have to reduce this value. How will you reduce the value? This is the fraction. There are two ways to reduce the fraction. There are two ways to decrease the value of a fraction. Either decrease the numerator or increase the denominator. There are only two things that can be done. If you want to decrease a fraction, there is a numerator and a denominator. Right? What do you do? Either decrease the numerator or increase the denominator. Remember, the rule says you should never play with numerator. You should not disturb the numerator. So let the numerator be as it is. So numerator means as it is. Now, if the numerator cannot be changed, but if you still want to reduce the fraction, the only way out is to increase the denominator. So increase the denominator, 5 plus something. What is that something? That something is nothing but whatever you have in the numerator. 5 plus 1. 1 by 5 plus 1. 1 by 6. What is 1 by 6 in terms of percentage? 16.66%. And that's your answer. 16.66%. Option 1, 16 2 by 3. It's very, very simple. Now suppose this 25, instead of 20%, let's say in the exam 25% is given. What do you do? I'm just giving you one more example, right? Instead of 20%, let's say he says 25%. What do you do? 25% is 1 by 4. 1 by 4 should become 1 by 5. That's it. There ends the matter. 1 by 5 is 20% and that's your answer. It takes what? Less than 3 seconds for you to mark the answer to this question. Work only in the denominator. Remember, you have to work only in the denominator. Because it is reduced, we are reducing the fraction. If it is increased, suppose the price has decreased. If he says the price has decreased, instead of increase, if he says price has decreased, by what percentage must a housewife increase the consumption so that the expenditure remains the same? In that case, what do you do? Let me do it here. So this time he says price has decreased. 25% again is 1 by 4. Same 25%, let's say. 25% is equal to 1 by 4. We know that. But now you have to increase. By what percentage must the housewife increase the consumption? How can you increase the fraction? Again, there are two ways. In a fraction, you know there are numerator and denominator. To increase the value of a fraction, either you should increase the numerator or decrease the denominator. But like I said, you are never supposed to work on the numerator. Don't work on the numerator, only work on the denominator. So for me to increase this fraction, the only thing I can do is decrease the denominator. So 4 minus something. What is that something? That something is nothing but whatever is there in the numerator. If it is 1, put 1. If it is 2, put 2. If it is 3, put 3. Right? So it is 1. 1 by 4 minus 1, which is 1 by 3. 1 by 3 is how much? 33.33%. So in that case, your answer is going to be 33.33%. Which case, the price of a sugar decreased by 25%. By what percent must a housewife increase the consumption of sugar so that the expenditure of the sugar is as before? Answer will be 33.33% in a jiffy without having to put pen on paper. Without putting pen on paper. Yeah? Now, if you are wondering where does this technique come from, you just have to recall one important concept that we had learned. We had learned this concept of effective percentage, right? A plus B plus AB by 100. You know that effective percentage is A plus B plus AB by 100. And that effective percentage concept is applicable for an equation where we have x equals to y into z. If x is equal to y into z, then changes in y and z are given. If you want the change in x, you can apply effective percentage. So change in x, change in y is given to you. Sorry, change in y and change in z is given to you. You have to find out the change in x. So what do you do? A plus B plus AB by 100 or y plus z plus y into z by 100. I'm trying to generalize the whole concept. So whatever this technique I've explained to you actually comes from that effective percentage concept. In that case, what happens is expenditure becomes 0. The change in x is 0 because expenditure is the same. And then when you play with y and z, you'll figure out that this is what happens there. Right? So I am explaining it like a trick, but the trick comes from that root of effective percentage concept. Okay? Don't worry too much about it. The question format will remain the same. Just look at the fraction. Either increase the denominator or decrease the denominator. How will you increase or decrease the denominator? Depending on whether you have to reduce the value or increase the value. By how much will you reduce or increase the denominator? By the value given in the numerator. As simple as that. Option 1, 16 2 by 3 is the answer to the original question asked here. If you are all clear, we can move to the next one. Okay, Prashant says, yeah, I agree that we can't expect what pattern will be asked, but it will be very helpful if the level of mocks comes near to the level of actual exam. Alright, Prashant, I get your point, and we will make sure that the mock exams are made tougher, right? So that you go through that whole experience of facing a tough exam even before the real exam takes place for you. Okay, so if you're all clear with this idea, I can move to the next one. I think I've spent way more time than what I thought I would on this question, but the trick can help you get 1 mark in about 3-4 seconds and beat any percentage. It can be 20%, it can be 60%, just convert that percentage to fraction. Like 60% is 3 by 5. After that, play with the fraction. Should we go for the next one? So next question. Next question is on your screens now. Look at this. Square root of 0.798 whole square plus 0.404 into 0.798 plus 0.2020 whole square plus 1. You have 45 seconds for this. The clock is ticking now. Okay, I think many of you have got option 2 as the answer. Let's look at this. Here we go. Read the expression square root of 0.798 square. So I'll just write it in a proper fashion here. 0.798 squared plus 0.404 into 0.798 plus 0.2020 square plus 1. Remember, only this bracketed part is under square root, right? The plus 1 is outside the square. This is equal to what is the question. Now it's all about rewriting it in a proper fashion so that we can simplify it. Okay. Now one thing is clear, answer 0 is stupid, answer 0.404 is stupid. I mean, you should be able to figure this out. See, it is 1 plus something. In the whole question mark here is equal to 1 plus some value under square root. So answer cannot be negative, the square root cannot be negative, everything is positive here, right? So 1 plus something should be more than 1. How can the answer be 0 or 0.404? Immediately eliminate these options. 2 options are left out. Sometimes I'll tell you, in the real exam also this happens, that only 1 option is left out by simple logic. You getting me? The simple logic that we have applied is answer should be more than 1. Unfortunately, 2 options are more than 1. If you are really lucky and if only 1 option is more than 1, then don't do anything on paper. You can just mark the option which is left out. Okay. Now, will it be 2 or 1.596? If you have some view about how to eliminate one of these options, you can apply that, or maybe do the complete calculation after this. Where doing the calculation is not complex. It's in the form of a square plus 2ab plus b square. So look at how we rewrite this, right? It goes as follows. This 0.798 square remains as it is. I'll take this 0.404 as 2 into 0.202 into 0.798 plus this is 0.202 squared. Remember, this 0 at the end makes no sense. Whether it's there or not there, its value is actually 0. Now if you see, this is like a squared plus b squared plus 2 into a into b. What is a squared plus b squared plus 2ab? A plus b whole square. So it will be like square root of a plus b whole square, which is 0.798 plus 0.202 whole square plus 1. You getting it? A plus b whole square. A square plus b square plus 2ab. Now this square root and square gets cancelled. 0.798 plus 0.202 is equal to 1. You getting it? This is 0.798 plus 0.202 is equal to 1. 1 plus this 1 is equal to 2. Option 2 is the answer. Right? Again, you can cut down the steps. I mean, if you can figure out that this is a plus b whole square format and then a is this, b is this, just add that. It gives you 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Option 2 would be the answer. Alright? Now I'm sure most of you have got the right answer. 2 is the right answer. You would have got it. What I want you to check yourself is how many of you were able to eliminate the first option and fourth option the moment you read the question. Because that's where the smartness lies. Smartness is not solving this. You can solve it. I mean, I'm sure all of us will get the answer as to. Smartness lies in figuring out without wasting any moment that 1 and 4 cannot be the answers. Again, you may ask me, how does it help? We still have to do the calculation. We have to do the calculation. But this smart idea should strike to you. This whole concept of verifying the options and eliminating the wrong ones is very, very crucial for you to maximize your score in such exams. Okay, so just check it if you could think of that idea. Like I can see Sony's comment here that answer is definitely greater than 1. So 2 options satisfied. Only 2 options satisfied. Yeah. Good. Neeraj for some reason got 1.596. I don't know why. Answer is Shall we take up the next one? The next question is here on your screens again. The perimeter of a rhombus is 40 meters and its height is 5 meters. Its area is. Now this question is on mensuration, right? It says the perimeter of a rhombus is 40 meters and its height is 5 meters. What is the area? Yeah. Now you know that a rhombus is a quadrilateral with all equal sides. So perimeter here is nothing but 4 times the side. 4 into S, which is equal to 40. So I can say S is equal to 10 meters. Yes, you know the side of the perimeter is 10 meters. You getting it? And the height is 5. You know what is the area? I mean, these are all basic questions, right? Area of a rhombus is nothing but side into height. So basically 10 into 5. 50 is the answer. How much time will it take? Hardly any time, right? Okay, so that's done. I should have actually not taken it up at all. The next question on your screens now. Try this. A class starts at 10 a.m. and lasts till 1:27 p.m. Right? A class starts at 10 a.m. and lasts till 1:27 p.m. 4 periods are held during this interval. After every period, 5 minutes are given free to the students. The exact duration of each period is. Now some of you may wonder that this is a very simple one. Why did they ask such type of question at all? It is actually a simple one, but many students commit a mistake here. Right? This is actually a tricky question. It says the class starts at 10 a.m. It ends at 1:27 p.m. 4 periods are held during this interval. So during this interval, meaning from 10 a.m. to 1:27 p.m. 4 periods are held. By the way, 10 a.m. to 1:27 p.m. is how many minutes? 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. is 3 hours, which is 180 minutes. And then 27 minutes is 207 minutes. Is that wrong? It is equal to 207 minutes. Now in this 207 minutes, 4 periods are held during the interval. 4 periods are held. So we can actually say 207 by 4. But then the point is, after every period, 5 minutes are given free to the student. So there is a break of 5 minutes after every period. There is a break of 5 minutes after every period. The exact duration of each period is. Now the only mistake which many students commit here is, since there are 4 periods, they consider 4 breaks. So 4 into 5, 20 minutes are removed. You getting it? There are 4 periods. He says after every period, 5-minute break is given. So 4 into 5, 20 minutes. What is the break time? 4 into 5, 20. Yes or no? This is where you go wrong. Because the break time is not 20 minutes. The break time will be only 3 into 5, 15 minutes. It's going to be 15 minutes. Just 15 minutes. Why? Because after the 4th period, the interval is over. You understand? This whole slot, if you see, let's say this is the first period. This is the 2nd period. This is the 3rd period. This is the 4th period. This is 10 a.m. This is 1:27 p.m. Now how many breaks do you see? This is the first break, 2nd break and 3rd break. First break, 2nd break, 3rd break. Total 3 breaks. It's not 4 breaks. So only 3 breaks, 15 minutes. Which means the period time, the total period time is how much? You don't have to write these steps, by the way. I'm just maybe writing too many steps here. 207 minus 15, which is 192. 192 minutes divided by 4. So for each period, it will be 192 by 4. 192 by 4 is 48 minutes. 48 minutes. You getting it? So 48 minutes, option 2 is the answer. Simple one, but just be careful. I don't know if anyone here has taken 4 breaks. It's only 3 breaks. There would only be 3 breaks. Next question. It's a simple question based on number series. Find out what should come in place of question mark. So 92, question mark, 46, 69, 138, 345. 46, 69. Like I always say, the best way to solve number series is to give it a try. Spend 10 to 15 seconds. If you can get the logic, well and good. Otherwise, skip and go to the next one. There is no method. I repeat again, there is no method to solve questions on number series. It's only trial and error. There's only trial and error. What can you do? Trial and error. Try with the logic. If that works, okay, you get the answer. If there is an error, try with something else. You get it? Trial and error is what works for questions on number series. Right? Now, what's the technique? The technique is this. It is like this. Finding out what comes in place of question mark here. If you see, 46 and 69, the relationship is this. 46 into 3 by 2 into 1.5 basically. So 46 by 2 is 23. 23 into 3 is 69. 69 into 4 by 2. 4 by 2 is actually 2. 69 into 2 is 138. 138 into 5 by 2. So basically 138 by 2 is 69. 69 into 5. 69 into 5 is 345. So basically, if you look at the terms, 3 by 2, 4 by 2, 5 by 2. So what should be the previous one? It should be 2 by 2. 2 by 2 is actually 1. So what into 1 will give you 46? 46 into 1 will give you 46. So I can say the question mark actually is equal to 46. If you want to verify, you can take it further, right? I mean, look at this. 92 into 1 by 2. What is 92 into 1 by 2? 46. That 46 is what comes in place of question mark. So that 46 into 2 by 2. So the pattern is this: into 1 by 2, into 2 by 2, into 3 by 2, into 4 by 2, and so on. So based on this logic, you find that the value that comes in place of question mark is 46, option 3. Yeah, 1 by 2, 2 by 2, 3 by 2, or 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and so on. Yeah. Should we take up the next one? Okay, here comes an interesting one. Try this. I'll leave you with this for about 45 seconds. Try it out. This is upon repayment of a loan. Interesting question. Let's see how many of you get the answer. Alright, let's check it out. Here we go. A man repays a loan of rupees 3,250 by paying rupees 20 in the first month and then increases the payment by rupees 15 every month. How many months will it take him to clear the loan? So basically, a man has to repay a loan of 3,250 rupees. He pays 20 rupees in the first month. Then increases the payment by 15 every month. Every month his payment increases by 15. So in the first month he pays 20. In the second month he'll pay 20 plus 15, 35. Then he pays 35 plus 15, 50. Then he pays 50 plus 15, 65. Then he pays in the next one 65 plus 15, 80. And then 95. And so on for n months. Till the repayment is done. Till the repayment of 3,250 is done. Now, if you see, there's like a series, number series or a progression, right? It's a progression and it's a arithmetic progression. If you see, the common difference is 15. Between two consecutive terms, the difference is 15. 20 plus 15. And this we know that exactly what was given in the question, right? 15. The difference is increasing by 15, right? Each month. So common difference. The common difference is 15. Now this is the first term. This is the first term, right? There are total n terms, n such terms. N months is nothing but n such terms. Now, what is the sum formula? The sum in an arithmetic progression is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. This is a very important formula. All of you should remember this. The sum in case of arithmetic progression. A is called the first term. The first term is called a. N is the number of terms and d is called the common difference. So in our case, a is equal to 20, the first term. N is n, which has to be calculated. D, the common difference, is 15. What is the sum? The sum is 3,250. Sum is 3250. Substitute and get the answer. You getting it? 2a plus n minus 1 into b. Okay. Now substitute. So we get what? 3250 equals to n by 2 into 2 into 20 plus n minus 1 into 15. Now this will result in a quadratic equation which you have to solve for to get the answer. But if you don't want to deal with the complexities of quadratic equations, substitute the values one by one and check it. Like n, I mean I'm just taking 2 to the other side, so it becomes 6300 equals to 40n plus 15n into n, 15n squared minus 15n. You getting it? Now this is like a quadratic equation. You can simplify the quadratic equation to get the two roots, and then one of those roots can be taken as the answer. But then if you don't want to get into that complexity, maybe you can try substituting the values. By the way, 40n minus 15 is 25. So the equation is this. If you see, the equation is this: 15n squared plus 25n minus 6300 equals 0. Or I think 5 is common. 3n squared plus 5n minus 1260, right? Oh, I think I'm doing something wrong. This is 6500. Oh, so sorry about this. 3250 into 2 is 6500. I'm sorry. 6500. Yeah, so minus 1300. So that's the equation basically. 3n squared plus 5n minus 1300 equals to 0. Now put the values of n or solve the quadratic equation. You will get the answer as one of these 4 options, 26 or 25 or 23 or 20. So basically we are saying 3n square plus 5n should be equal to 1300. Check one by one. Check the options one by one. Right? In fact, you can go by the logic of unit space, right? Don't solve it. Solving quadratic equation would take time. 3n squared plus 5n equals to 1300. So the unit space on the right hand side is 0. Unit space of left hand side should also be 0. Now if you think of it, if you take 26 in place of n here, 26 into 5 is 130. So this will give you 0. Will this give you a 0? See, 26 square will end in 6. 6 into 3 is 18. So one number ends in 8, the other number ends in 0. The sum will end in 8. But we want the sum to end with 0. I mean, I'm using unit digit method. For those who are not able to follow, I'm using unit digit method to eliminate the options. Right? 25 will satisfy or not satisfy? Yes, because 25 here will result in 5, a number ending in 5. 5 also will end with 5. 5 plus 5, 0. So maybe that's the answer. But let's verify the other options. 23 will get eliminated because this will give you 7. This gives you 5, which makes it ending in 2. 20 also is possible. But check if 20 really satisfies. 20 square 400. 400 into 3 1200. 1200 plus 100, 1300. Satisfies, right? So 20 is the answer. You getting it? 20 clearly satisfies this. 20 square is 400. 400 into 3 1200. And 5 into 20 is 100. 1200 plus 100 1300. So option 4 can be taken as the correct answer. See, based on the unit digit method, 25 or 20 are possible. But when I actually check 20, it gives me the answer. You can check 25 also. If you check 25, 25 squared is 625. 625 into 3 itself is 1875. How can 1875 plus something be 1300? Eliminate it. Yeah. So the point is, you can either solve the quadratic equation. If you're not very comfortable with that idea, go for substitution. In substitution also, you can either use unit digit method or randomly try with the one option which you think would probably satisfy. Like option 4 looks like the most probable answer here. Check with that. If it satisfies, don't worry about other options. Yeah. Anyway, so the answer is option 4, 20. It will take 20 months. 20 months for the repayment of loan in this process. Clear? Should we move on to the next one? Yeah. Alright, the next question is on your screens here. This is from allegations and mixtures. I think a straight question, there is no complexity. You just have to solve it using the allegation method. See, it says vessels A and B contain mixtures of milk and water in the ratio of 4:5 and 5:1 respectively. In what ratio should quantities of mixtures be taken from A to B, basically A and B, to form a new mixture in which the milk to water ratio is 5:4. So in one case, the ratio is 4:5, in the other case the ratio is 5:1. When you mix these two, you'll get a new ratio 5:4. So in what ratio should you mix these two is the question. Let's go for allegation rule. I will take, let's say, proportions of milk. You just have to put pen on paper to work with numbers, right? If 4:5 is the ratio, what's the proportion of milk here? 4 out of 9. Yes or no? 4 by 9. 4 parts of milk out of total 9 parts. In the second case, 5 parts of milk out of total 5 plus 1, 6 parts. So 5 by 6. And in the overall mixture, 5:4 is the ratio. So 5 parts of milk out of total 5 plus 4, 9 parts. Take the cross differences. This will give you what? The quantity ratio. Q1 is to Q2. Solve for it. As simple as that. So 5 by 6 minus 5 by 9. You have to take this. 5 by 6 minus 5 by 9 and 5 by 9 minus 4 by 9. So 5 by 6 minus 5 by 9 is to 5 by 9 minus 4 by 9. What will this be equal to? See, 18 is the LCM, right? So if 18 is the LCM, 6 goes 3 times. 15, 9 goes 2 times. That will be 10. 15 minus 10, 5. 5 by 18 is 2. 5 by 9 minus 4 by 9 is 1 by 9. Simplify now. 5 by 2 is to 1 or 5 is to 2. Option 4 will be the answer. No complexity at all, just apply the regular formula. Yeah? Let's take up the next one. I think we should just continue moving on. How do we do this? See, if you observe, the whole thing has to be multiplied here. So root 2 into root 2 gives you 2. Root 3 into root 3 gives you 3 into 2 plus root 3 into 2 minus root 3. This is like a plus b into a minus b. So no, a plus b into a minus b. What is the answer? A squared minus b squared. So a squared is 4, b squared is root 3 squared is 3. Divided by, again, in the denominator we have root 3 plus 1 into root 3 minus 1. Again, it's like a plus b into a minus b. So a squared minus b squared. So root 3 squared is 3, 1 squared is 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. 4 minus 3 is 1. So 1 by 3. 1 by 3 is the answer. Option 1. Yeah. Option 1, 1 by 3 is the answer. Should not take much time. Clear? Buffering. Is it buffering? Why is it buffering? If it is buffering. One by 3. I think that was a very simple question, the one that we had solved. We can move on to the next one. Shall we? Try and use options as much as possible. I mean, the previous one, of course, was just about simplification. That's a different story. But otherwise, try to use options. Eliminate the wrong ones. So that becomes easier for you to solve. Let's take the next question. Here's the next one. If the length of hypotenuse of a right angle triangle is 5 cm and its area is 6 cm, then the length of the remaining sides are. He says there's a hypotenuse. Sorry, there's a right angle triangle. Hypotenuse is 5 cm. Its area is 6 cm. What is the length of the remaining sides? You know that in a right angle triangle the Pythagoras theorem holds true. And for a Pythagoras theorem, one standard triplet is 3, 4, 5. If you want the hypotenuse to be 5, the other two sides have to be 3 and 4. There's no other choice. He's asking us to find out the length of the remaining sides. 3 and 4 is the answer. Why do anything? This area is not required at all. Why is the area required? If you want, maybe you can say half into base into height. Area is half into base into height. Half into base into height. Base into height is 12. Half of that is 6. Satisfies. But that's not required because the length of the hypotenuse is given as 5. If hypotenuse is 5, the two sides have to be 3 and 4. See, Pythagoras theorem, right? 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to 5 squared. Sum of the squares of the two sides should be equal to the square of the hypotenuse. 25, 25. So 3 and 4. Option 4 is the answer. If anybody spends, or anybody in the All India mock exam has spent more than 5 seconds in answering that question, I am disappointed. I repeat, if any of you there has spent more than 5 seconds to answer that question on right angle triangle and its hypotenuse, then you are not fit for the exam. I may sound a little blunt here, but guys, why do you want to put pen on paper for that? It's like by the time you finish reading the question, you're like, okay, it's like asking your name, right? What's your name? Rohit. There is the matter. There's no confusion. You're all sorted, right? Hypotenuse is 5. 3 and 4 have to be the sides. Yeah. 5 seconds in fact is too much. You can solve 5 such questions in 5 seconds. Yeah. Anyways, I think all I'm trying to say is think differently and try to do it smartly. Okay, next question. The next question is again on geometry here. I mean coordinate geometry basically. The 3 vertices of the triangle are given. He's asked us to find out the area. Right? The vertices of a triangle are 3, 8, minus 4, 2 and 5, minus 1. What is the area? Now there's a standard formula that you can apply here for finding out the area of a triangle when 3 vertices are given. We have discussed this in our coordinate geometry topic as well. Right? In the topic of coordinate geometry, this has been covered. When the 3 vertices are known, how do we get the area of the triangle? Option 2, I think only 2 of you have solved it so far. Chinu and Rajesh, they've got option 2 as answer. 37 1 by 2. I'm wondering what are others doing, because this is a standard question. Only 2 of you have got the answer. Guys, what is happening? Do you want me to read out the formula? If you haven't watched the basic videos of this topic, then you are not prepared for this exam at all. Why haven't you watched the videos yet? And what are the others doing? I mean, this is like unbelievable, right? What if the exam was not postponed? What if the exam was conducted on July 25th, as usual? You cannot expect a more standard question than this. The formula is half into x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2. You know what x1, x2, x3, y1, y2, y3 are. Substitute the values, do the calculation, and there you get the answer. What is wrong with you guys? The vertices of a triangle are A, B and C. We have been given the coordinates, right? 3, 8, minus 4, 2 and 5, minus 1. The area of the triangle ABC is, what is the area of the triangle ABC? Now understand, this is x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. These are the 3 vertices. Standard question, standard formula. Area will be half of x1 times y2 minus y3 plus x2 times y3 minus y1 plus x3 times y1 minus y2. Just substitute the values and play with the numbers. So half of, what is x1? 3 into y2 minus y3. 2 minus of minus 1. 2 minus of minus 1 is 3. Yes or no? 2 minus of minus 1 is 3. Plus x2. x2 is minus 4. What is y3 minus y1? Minus 1 minus 8. You understand? y3 minus y1. Minus 1 minus 8 is minus 9. Plus x3. What is x3? 5. What is y1 minus y2? 8 minus 2. 8 minus 2 is 6. Simplify this now. So 3 3s is 9. 4 into 9 is 36. Minus and minus becomes plus. So 9 plus 36 plus 5 6 is 30. Simplify this now. 36 plus 30 is 66. 66 plus 9 is 70. You getting it? 5 6 30. This is 36 and this is 9. Yeah. Yeah. So 75. 66, 66 plus 9, 75. 75 by 2. 75 by 2 is 37.5. 37.5, option 2 is the answer. As simple as that. There's no other logic. There's nothing else that needs to be done. Okay, there's this next question which I am not going to solve because we have discussed the same question with maybe different numbers in our videos, in our basic videos itself, where it says A and B together can do a piece of work in 12 days. Right? A and B together can do a piece of work in 12 days. B and C can complete the same work in 20 days. And C and A can do the same work in 15 days. ABC can do the work in how many days? It's a standard question again. The method has been discussed in the videos. I want all of you to watch the videos and learn it yourself if you do not know how to solve it. See, what basically we will do is we will find out the total capacity of ABBC CA, meaning 2 times of ABC by adding the number of days, meaning by adding the capacities. And then simplify to get the answer. It's a very, very simple question. I'm sure I can skip it for you. Skip it does not mean you'll skip it in the exam. You can solve it yourself. It's a very simple question. Just follow the videos and solve. Yeah. I'm sure none of you will have any challenge with that. I think you already marked the answer as option 2, 10 days. 3 of you have already marked the answer there. Yeah, so 1 by 12. You should know. I mean, you should know what to be done, right? 1 by 12 plus 1 by 20 plus 1 by 15. That will give you the total capacity of 2 times of ABC. So take half of it to get capacity of ABC. Reciprocate it, you get the answer. So the only time that you will spend here, maximum time that you will spend here, should be in taking the sum of those fractions. 1 by 12 plus 1 by 20 plus 1 by 15. I think 180 or 120 can be taken as LCM. Go for it. Simple. Next question. Let's take up the next one. This again is a standard question. It is on trains crossing 2 persons at different speeds, right? And times being given there. Standard formula. You just have to substitute the formula to get the answer. But I think the units and all are a little complex here. The speeds are given in kilometers per hour. Time is given in seconds. So how will you deal with it is the question. Let me post it here. I will give you about 1 minute to try this. Get the answer. Here we go. A train passes 2 persons walking in the same direction at the speed of 3 km per hour and 5 km per hour respectively in 10 seconds and 11 seconds respectively. What is the speed of the train? Done? Simple one, right? 25 is the answer. Rajesh, Chinu and Vidya. 3 of them have got it. Let's solve it now. See what it says. A train passes 2 persons walking in the same direction at a speed of 3 km per hour and 5 km per hour respectively in 10 seconds and 11 seconds respectively. The speed of the train is. So basically he's talking about train passing 2 persons who are walking in the same direction. Now you know what is the significance of this mention here, right? Same direction. What is the significance? The relative speed should be taken as the difference of the speeds. So basically there are 2 different cases. In one case the train crosses the first person walking at the speed of 3 km per hour, takes 10 seconds. In the other case the train crosses the second person who's walking at 5 km per hour and takes 11 seconds. What is the speed of the train? Now basically when the train is crossing a person, what is the formula? Speed of the train minus the speed of the person. Why are we taking minus? Because they're walking in the same direction. Should be equal to length of the train divided by time. Remember when a train is crossing a person, it has to cross its own length. All this is again standard, has been discussed in the videos. I hope all of you remember the formula. Speed of the train is equal to speed of the train minus speed of the person equals to length of the train by time. Now write down the 2 equations. See, speed of the train minus speed of the person is 3 equals to length of the train by time taken is how much? 10 seconds. What's the other equation? Speed of the train minus speed of the person 5 equals to length of the train divided by time taken is 11 seconds. Now the question that I have for all of you is, do we really have to convert the units here? See, ideally if I look at this equation as standalone, it is imbalanced. Why? Because on the left hand side this 3 is in kilometers per hour. On the right hand side this 10 is in seconds. It's not balanced. When I take this equation, it is again imbalanced because on the left hand side this 5 is in kilometers per hour. This 11 is in seconds. It's imbalanced. But then if I have to avoid the whole process of converting kilometers per hour to meters per second or converting the seconds to, let's say, hours in order to balance it, what I can simply do is divide the 2 equations. And that will make my life simple. How? See, the length of the train gets cancelled on both the sides. I mean, in numerator and denominator. What do we get? We get this. St minus 3 by St minus 5 equals to, so this LT gets cancelled. We'll have 1 by 10 by 1 by 11, which becomes 11 by 10. Simplify this and you'll get the answer. So 10 St minus 30 equals to 11 St minus 55. So 11 St minus 10 St. St will be equal to 55 minus 30, which is 25. And this 25 will be in kilometers per hour. So if anybody here has spent time in converting kilometers per hour to meters per second or converting the seconds to hours, is again not following the best method. 25 is the answer, option 3. 25 kilometers per hour. Yeah, I think many of you have got option 3 as the answer. Sony says, I solved this in the exam, but now I got stuck. Sony, you cannot do this. Let me tell you, you cannot expect questions easier than that. And that's what I've done, Prashant. I mean, you are saying directly we can answer by comparing. You can say length is equal, so speed into time. Relative speed into time, relative speed into time. I've divided the equations. I mean, ultimately, we see length is getting cancelled. We are doing the same stuff. Okay, the next question. Now, this is a standard one. It says a discount series of P percentage and Q percentage on an invoice is same as a single discount. So, two discounts of P percentage and Q percentage will be equal to a single discount of what? P plus Q minus P into Q by 100%. It's a standard formula which is not 1, not 2, not 3. So, option 4, none of the above. Actually, what we have learned through the videos, if you recall the videos of percentages, is that discount is a reduction in the value. So, P percentage is actually a reduction of P percentage. Q percentage discount is a reduction of Q percentage discount. So, when you use the effective percentage formula, see, according to our discussion in the videos, effective percentage is equal to A plus B plus AB by 100. Now, in our case, in this case, A is equal to minus P. A is equal to minus P because it's a discount, and B also is equal to minus Q because it's the discount. Any reduction should be taken with a negative sign. So, what is the effective discount? Single discount is nothing but the effective discount here. That will come out to be minus P minus Q plus minus P into minus Q by 100. Now, when you simplify this further, it comes out to be minus P minus Q, minus into minus is plus PQ by 100. So, this is the overall discount. But the negative sign has to be taken common here. When you take negative sign common, what do we get? P plus Q minus PQ by 100. And what does this negative sign indicate? This negative sign indicates that it's the reduction in the value. We all know discount will be a reduction in the value. So, negative sign only indicates the reduction. But the magnitude is what? P plus Q minus PQ by 100. So, that's why answer is P plus Q minus PQ by 100. So, some of you might have learned this as a standard formula for single discount, but this formula is arrived from the effective percentage concept itself. That is the reason I say this is very, very important. Effective percentage is a very important concept. You should know its applications. Like in this question, you can apply effective percentage. And there are many other questions where you can apply effective percentage. I think one of the previous questions in this session itself, where we had a reduction in the price of sugar, by how much will the housewife increase the consumption, or vice versa. What was the concept? Effective percentage. So, effective percentage is very, very important. You should know not just the formula, but its application throughout, so that you can use it widely and wisely wherever required. So, answer is option 4, none of the above, because the right formula is not given anywhere. Okay, let's take another question, interesting one. See what it says. A reduction of 15% in the price of apples would enable a purchaser to get 2 kg more apples for rupees 240. The new price per kg of apples is. Now, there are different ways of solving this question, and different students use different methods. Let's see what you guys do here. If you have gone through the videos of percentages, the basic videos, advanced videos, and addition videos, you will know how to crack this in a jiffy, in a smart way. Okay, let's take it up. I think 18 is the answer. Many of you have got option 2, 18, which is correct. But let's see if you have followed the best method here. Look at the question. A reduction of 15% in the price of apples would enable a purchaser to get 2 kg more apples for rupees 240. The new price per kg of apples is. So basically he says a reduction of 15% in the price of apples would enable meaning would help a purchaser get 2 kg more apples. He could get 2 kg more apples. Why? Because the reduction in the price was 15% for rupees 240. Meaning the purchaser is spending rupees 240. He usually spends rupees 240, but this time he could get 2 kg more apples because the price dropped by 15%. So what is the new price of apples is the question. What is the new price per kg of apples? The simple funda is, for example, let's assume that the purchaser says, I don't want extra apples. I don't want 2 kg more apples. I want to save my money. How much money will he save? He will save 15% of 240. Yes or no? His actual savings is what? Monetary benefit is how much? 15% of 240. That is 36 rupees. He would have saved 36 rupees. What did he do? Instead of saving 36 rupees, he says, give me whatever apples I could get off it. So the shopkeeper gave him 2 kg more apples, which means at 36 rupees, he could buy 2 kg apples. So what's the price per kg? 18 rupees. 18 rupees, right? For 36 rupees, if he has bought 2 kgs, per kg price will be 18 rupees. And this is a new price. Option 2 is the answer. As simple as that. Remember, the question may also ask you original price. Suppose the question is original price. Then how do you do? Then how do you solve this? Then there is one more step required. How do you get that? See, I know that this 18 rupees is equivalent to 85% of the value. 85% is equal to 18 rupees. 100% is equal to what? Original price was 100%. Original price is 100%. So the original price is 100%. The new price will be only 85% because it has dropped by 15%. But that 85% is equal to 18 rupees. So 100% is equal to what? You have to do that cross multiplication to get the original price, which is not the requirement here. In this case, the requirement is only the new price, which I can straight away get by calculating the savings. So 15% of 240 is 36 rupees. That 36 rupees could fetch me 2 kg apples. So price per kg is 18 rupees. Option 2 is the answer. Now the question to all of you is, how many of you have solved it using this concept? And how many of you have tried that original price P, new price 0.85P, original quantity Q, new quantity Q plus 2, 240, and solve those equations? That's a clumsy method. I mean, why is it required? So question is, how many of you have done it in a smart way like what we have seen here? And you need not put pen on paper for solving this question. The way we have solved it doesn't need paperwork. Why did I put pen on paper? So that I could explain it to you, right? I mean, I can't explain you what I'm thinking. It's simple. 15% of 240 is 36. It got him 2 kgs. Price is 18 rupees per kg. Quick. I'll wait for your response before we take up the next question. Shubham, by the way, has used the same technique. He says reduction is 15%. So 15% of 240 is 36 rupees. So 2 kgs, 36. 1 kg, 18 rupees. Good. Quickly tell me how many of you have solved it using a smart method, using the smart method. Smart method? Shubham, Divya, Kranti, Prashant, all of you are smart guys. Good. Viru. Alright, so glad to know that all of you have followed the smart method. Let's take up the next question. The next one is interesting. It is on, basically time and distance. The concept is time and distance, but the question is a little different than what we usually see. I mean, it involves a little bit of your knowledge on geometry or mensuration and time and distance to get the answer. It should not take more than 45 seconds. I'll leave you with this for 1 minute. The clock is ticking now. Try. Done? No, not yet. Alright, I shall wait. Alright, time is up. Let me see how many of you have got the right answer. Ashok Kumar has not solved it. He says, Baki ka aap karo. Last step he has given. Shitish, Rama, Bhima, all of you have got 250. Rama's got 150, which is option 2. Yeah. Okay, Ashok Kumar has also got option 4. Usha, Shubham, Vidya, Pravalika, and Ajit, Prashant, Mamta, Kranti, Soni, Chinu, and many others. Good. So option 4, 250 seems to be the most common response here. Let's quickly verify if you've got the right answer. Here we go. 2 cars start at the same time from one point and move along 2 roads at right angles to each other. Their speeds are 36 km per hour and 48 km per hour respectively. After 15 seconds, the distance between them will be. So basically there are 2 cars which start at the same time from one point but move along 2 roads at right angles to each other. So this is interesting. So let's say this is the starting point. So one car goes, let's say, in this direction, in the direction of east. The other car will go in the direction of south or north. Right angles, 90 degrees. Now one car is traveling at what? 36 kilometers per hour. The other car travels at 48 kilometers per hour. After 15 seconds, the distance between them. So at whatever point, let's say after 15 seconds, the first car reaches this point. After 15 seconds, the second car reaches this point. What's the distance between two cars? After 15? So this is one point, this is another point. What's the distance between them after 15 seconds? Now, distance is always the single straight line. Yes or no? The shortest line connecting 2 points. So the distance that we have to find out is this. This d is equal to what is the question? And that, if you understand, is the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle, right? It is a right angle triangle. So basically we have to find out the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle. D is equal to what? Now for us to find out D, we should know what is this length and this length. The two perpendiculars have to be calculated. And those two perpendiculars here are nothing but the two perpendiculars here are nothing but the distance travelled at 36 km per hour in 15 seconds and the distance travelled at 48 km per hour in 15 seconds. You know what is distance, right? Distance is speed into time. So this is like, let's say D1 and D2. So D1, distance 1, speed into time, 36 km per hour. Yes or no? Convert that kilometers per hour to meters per second, because eventually we want the answer in meters only, right? So 36 kilometers per hour into meters per second is into 5 by 18, right? So 36 into 5 by 18 meters per second multiply by 15 seconds. Speed into time. Solve this, goes 2 times. 2 5s 10, 15s 150 meters. What is D2? Again, speed 48 kilometers per hour. Convert that to meters per second, multiply by 5 by 18 into time is 15 seconds. Simplify now. 6 goes 3 times, 6 goes 8 times, this goes 5 times. So 8 5 is 40, 45 is 200. This is 200 meters. So D1 is 150 meters, D2 is 200 meters. We have to find out D. Now D, you know, is going to be root over D1 square plus D2 square, Pythagoras here. So root over 150 squared plus 200 squared. That's like 10 into 15 square plus 20 square. So this is 400, this is 225, 625. Square root of 625 is 25. 25 into 10, 250. This will give you 250 meters. That's your answer. I mean, again, if you know the triplet, it is 15, 20, 25. So 150, 200, 250. 250 will be the answer. Option 4. So all those who have got option 4 are correct. Right? Shall we go for the next one? I'm sure there's no confusion here, right? It will be like a right angle triangle, yes. But those who have got 150, I think Rama got 150, you should check your solution. Either I think you've gone wrong in the calculation somewhere. It has to be 250. Square root of 15 square plus 20 square. So 400 plus 225, 625. Under root 625 is 25. Okay, the next question. Look at this one. What does it say? If the circumference and area of a circle are numerically equal, then the diameter is equal to. Simple question. Circumference and area of a circle are numerically equal. So what is the circumference of a circle? 2 pi r. What is the area of a circle? Pi r square. These two are equal. Circumference is equal to area. 2 pi r equals to pi r square. Then what is the diameter? Diameter d equals to what? You know diameter d is 2r. 2r is equal to what is the question? What happens? Pi and pi gets cancelled. R and this r gets cancelled. So we know that radius is 2. Radius is 2. Be careful. He's asking us to find out the diameter. What will be the diameter? 2 into r, 4. Option 4 is the answer. Simple, right? Let's take up the next one. Next question again is a standard one. I don't think we need to take it up, right? It says a train 300 meter long passed a man walking along the line in the same direction at the rate of 3 km per hour in 33 seconds. What is the speed of the train? You know what's the formula, right? Speed of the train minus, see, he's walking along the line in the same direction. So speed of the train minus speed of the man, 3 equals to distance by time. Distance is nothing but the length of the train, 300 meters by time, 33 seconds. Now this is in meters, this is in seconds. Now, if you see, the actual answer required is in kilometers per hour. So it's better, instead of converting this kilometers per hour to meters per second, you better convert this meters per second into kilometers per hour. How do you do that? Into 18 by 5. Now solve for ST, you will get the answer. A little bit of calculation is required, but you should be able to solve it. Yes or no? So speed of the train is going to be 3 plus this value. This is 300 meters. You know that when a train is crossing a man, it has to cross its own length. So length by time, 300 meters by 33 seconds. But this meter per second has to be converted to kilometers per hour. So we are multiplying by 18 by 5. So this is one value. Add 3 to it, you will get the answer. Okay, simple question. Calculation, yeah, requires some effort. This is like, let's say 3 times 6, 3 times 11. And 5 goes how many times? 5 goes 60 times. So 360 by 11. 360 by 11 can be taken as what? 330 plus 30. So 330 is 30 times. 30 can be taken as 22 plus 8. 22 is 2 times. 30 plus 2, 32. 32, 8 by 11. Now ST minus 3 equals to 32, 8 by 11. So ST will be equal to what? 32, 8 by 11 plus 3. Integer add. 32 plus 3 is 35. 35, 8 by 11 will be the answer. Simple. Option 4. Right? 35, 8 by 11 kilometers per hour. We had converted all meters into kilometers, seconds into hours to get everything in the standard format. Option 4, 35, 8 by 11. Okay, next one. Now this one is interesting. This is about the very, very basics of geometry, let's say. Okay, look at the question. The two angles of a triangle are half a radian and 1/3 of a radian. The measure of the third angle in degree is how much? Solve this quick. Interesting one. I hope all of you know how to solve this. Remember, the sum of the angles of a triangle, like we all know, is 180 degrees or pi radians. It's all about units. You have to play with the units. So 180 degrees is equal to pi radians. That's a clue for those who have no idea about how to start. Got it? Option 3. Did you all get option 3? 132, 3 upon 11. 132, 3 by 11. Rajesh, Chinu, Sashank and Prashant are some of those who have got it. I'm sure others are trying out. Please keep me posted about your progress. Alright, I think let's take it up now. I have given you enough time. Most of you have got option 3, 132, 3 by 11. I quickly want to know how many of you are stuck. Right? I know time is over. I'm sure all of you understand that we don't have so much time in the exam. But the one thing that I would like to know at this point in time is how many of you have not been able to solve. I can see Soni, Rajesh, Chinu, Sasank, Prashant, Kranti and Usha getting option 3 here. But I'm sure there are others who are still stuck. So be honest and let me just figure out who all have not been able to solve this. The simple logic is you should know, see the whole idea is this, 180 degrees is pi radians. You should know that. And there ends the matter. If you know 180 degrees is pi radians, you can just solve this. Amit is the first one to respond to that question. He says, I'm stuck. And so is Mamta. And anybody else? No? Ajit. Okay. Come on, I'm waiting for your responses. Amit, Mamta and Ajit. Who else? Neeraj, okay. 4 of you. And there comes the 5th one. Divya is also stuck. Yeah. And Shitish, good boy. Who else? Why is it taking so much time for you guys to acknowledge that you are stuck? You're not being able to solve this. So the point is, I think it's simple. It's the very basics of whatever topic it belongs to, but then you're not being able to solve this. Now, I want you to make sure that you pull your socks up now. It's high time, and learn this simple stuff, right? These 1 or 2 marks per question can cost you your dream job. Okay, so don't take it lightly. Some of you might not have gone through the videos at all so far, but those who have watched the videos already and have not been able to solve, they need to, pump up their preparation. Let's look at the solution now. Here's the question. 2 angles of a triangle are 1/2 radian and 1/3 radian. The measure of the third angle in degree is. The measure of the third angle in degree. So there are 2 angles, 1/2 radian and 1/3 radian. The measure of the third angle in degree. How much is the third angle in degree? So understand the total angle in a triangle is equal to what? 180 degrees, which is equal to pi radians, right? Pi radians. Now 2 of the angles are 1/2 radian and 1/3 radian. So what's the third angle? What's the third angle, anyone? Third angle is going to be pi minus half minus 1/3, which is equal to pi minus, I think this will give you 3 plus 2 by 6, 5 by 6, pi minus 5 by 6. So third angle is pi minus 5 by 6. But then I can say pi minus 5 by 6 radians. The third angle is pi minus 5 by 6 radians. Or I think you can just write this, pi minus 5 by 6 radians. Yeah. But the question says the measure of the third angle in degree. What is the measure of the third angle in degrees? Yeah. How do you solve it? First of all, and by the way, in the question is mentioned that you can take this as 22 by 7. So first of all, let's simplify this further. This can be taken as 22 by 7 minus 5 by 6. How much is that? 42 is LCM, right? 7 goes 6 times. So 6 22s is 132, and 6 goes 7 times is 35. 35, right? 7 5 35. So this is 97 by 42 radians. So basically one angle is 1/2 radian, the other angle is 1/3 radian, the third angle is 97 by 42 radians. But it's asking us to find out the third angle in degrees. How do you do that? Use this equation. Pi is 22 by 7, remember, right? So I know that 180 degrees is equal to 22 by 7 radians. How many degrees will be equal to 97 by 42 radians? That's the cross multiplication. Yes or no? It's the third angle that we have calculated. Third angle is 97 by 42 radians. Now, what do you do? Simple cross multiplication. 180 degrees or basically 22 by 7 radians is equal to 180 degrees. These many radians, 97 by 42 radians is how many degrees? How do you get this? This will be 97 by 42 into 180 divided by 22 by 7. Cross multiply. Yeah. Question mark will be equal to 97 by 42 into 180 divided by 22 by 7. So 7 goes 6 times. That's one easy thing. This goes 30 times. Easy. 97 into 30 by 22. Or I can say this is like 15 times and this is 11 times. So 97 into 15 by 11. 97 into 15 upon 11. Simplify this now. You have to multiply, there's no choice. 97 into 15 divided by 11. Yeah. I hope all of you have got the answer, right? Or if you don't want to multiply 97 with 15, one other thing can be taken as can be done is this can be taken as 11 plus 4. You getting it? I mean, let me just give you the step-by-step process. If you don't want to multiply 97 by 15, you better take 15 as 11 plus 4. So this becomes this 97 into 11 by 11 plus 97 into 4 by 11. Now 11 by 11 gets cancelled. 97 degrees. Yes or no? 97 degrees plus this. Right? Now find this out. 97 into 4 is 360 plus 28, 388 by 11. 388 by 11 can be taken as, you understand, 97 into 4 is 388. 388 can be taken as 330 plus 58. 330 plus 58. In fact, 58 can be taken as 55 plus 3. So I know 330 by 11 is 30. 55 by 11 is 5 plus 3 by 11. You understand? So basically it is going to be 97, this number, plus 30 plus 5. plus this was not divisible, 3 out of 11. And that's what is neat. And if you actually see 132 is common everywhere, right? We are interested in what the fraction is. The fraction that we have got is 3 by 11. I mean, somebody who's solving this in the process would know that since I've got 3 as the left out part, the remainder, the answer should be 3 by 11. I mean, it should have 3 by 11. So option 3 is the only choice. Yes or no? Anyway, if you add also, what do you find? 97 plus 5 is 102. 102 plus 30 is 132. 132 plus 3 by 11th of a fraction. So, I mean 3 by 11th of fraction. So 97 plus 30 plus 5, 132, and then 3 by 11. Option 3 is the answer. Do not go by the length of the explanation or the number of steps that we have put on paper. Right? All that is for detailed explanation. You can cut down the number of steps if you know what the approach is. Right? The only thing that you all have to remember is 180 degrees is equivalent to pi radians. In this case, he has very clearly specified take pi as 22 by 7. It's an approximate value, but he says take pi as 22 by 7. Yeah? Should we move on? Next question now. And I'm not saying that this is the only way you simplify. You can actually multiply 97 with 11, 15 and then divide by 11 to get the integer in the fraction part. Or maybe you can take 97 as maybe 99 minus 2 if that makes it. In fact, that would make it even more easy, right? Take 90, we have taken 15 as 11 plus 4. Take 97 as 99 minus 2. Basically, the denominator is 11. So try to represent the numerator in terms of the denominator. So if I take it as 99 minus 2, it becomes 99 into 5 by 11 minus 2 into 5 by 11. Now 99 by 11 is 9. 9 into 5, 45. And the remaining part. I mean, you can do that calculation. I'm sure you will get the answer. Okay. Are we clear? Let's take up the next question. Next question on your screens here. Look at this. The price of a commodity has increased by 60%. By what percent must a consumer reduce the consumption of the commodity so as not to increase the expenditure? We have solved a similar question in the same session. The only difference is there we were talking about sugar. Here is replace sugar with commodity. There we are talking about the housewife. Here the housewife has been generalized as consumer. There the price increased by some percentage. Here also the price increased by some percentage. Do not put unnecessary steps on paper. Simple. Like I said, 60%. Write this in terms of fraction. 3 by 5. By what percentage must a consumer reduce the consumption? You have to decrease. So what do? Decrease. Numerator cannot be changed. Only the denominator can be changed. Decrease. When you want the value to decrease, the denominator should be increased. So this becomes 5 plus 3. Why are we adding 3? See, the denominator should increase. It should become 5 plus something. And that something is nothing but whatever is there in the numerator. So 3 by 5 becomes 3 by 5 plus 3. Which is 3 by 8. And 3 by 8, if you know, in terms of equivalent fractions, is 37.5%. You should know what percentage is what fraction or what fraction is what percentage. 3/8 is 37.5%. 3/8 is 37.5%, which is option 2. I mean, you should learn all these percentages in terms of its equivalent fractions and stuff. So option 2 is the answer. Let's take up the next one now. This is on heights and distance, a very interesting concept. All you have to remember is the basics of angle of elevation, angle of depression, and what trigonometric ratios do you use to measure this. If you can draw the figure properly and use the right trigonometric ratios, you'll be able to solve such questions easily. So let me present the question. I'll leave you with this for about a minute. I'm sure all of you will be able to solve it, and then we'll quickly discuss. So here we go. The question is on your screens here. Read the question properly, draw the figure properly, use the proper trigonometric ratios, and then find out what the answer is. It's not a numerical calculation, you have to use all the variables there. Done? Option 3, h cot x by cot x minus cot y. Only Rajesh has got the answer. Jeevan Singh Bhagat says a car starts from Hyderabad and moves toward Bangalore. Okay, Jeevan. So I can sense that you are a new student at TalentSprint. Let me tell you, you cannot post questions directly in the chat. You are required to post the question in the discussion forum and we shall take it up from there. Right? Either we will answer the question in the forum itself or we will take it up in our doubts clarification sessions. So Jeevan, don't mind, but please post your question in the discussion forum. Okay, two more answers have come in. Shubham and Ajit have responded and they do not agree with each other. Shubham says it's 1, while Ajit says it should be 3. Prashant also has got 3. I'll wait for maybe 30 more seconds. Try it out, all of you. You cannot go wrong in this one. You cannot go wrong in any one, by the way. Alright, time is up. Let's discuss the solution now. Here we go. The angles of elevation of the top of a building from the top and bottom of a tree are x and y respectively. If the height of the tree is h meters, then the height in meters of the building is. Right? So he's talking about angles of elevation of the top of a tree, or the top of a building, from the top and bottom of a tree. The angles are x and y respectively. Now the height of the tree is h meter. He is asking us to get the height of the building in meters. Now draw the diagram properly. How would this whole thing look like? Let's say this is the ground level, right? Don't draw the ground and all this in the exam. Okay, they won't give you extra marks for this. This is the tree, right? The height is h. The height is h for the tree. Now here's the building. This is the building. If you observe, the height of the building will be what? Let's say this is h. Till here it is h, right? It is parallel to the tree. Beyond that, let's say it is h dash. So the overall height of the building is going to be h plus h dash. That's what we need to evaluate. Yes or no? Now the point is the angles of elevation from the top of the building. This is the top of the building. So sorry, the angles of elevation of the top of the building. This is the top of the building. So the angle of elevation of the top of the building from the top of the tree and the bottom of the tree are x and y respectively. So if you see from the top of the tree. So from the top of the tree, if I draw the line of sight, the angle of elevation it says is x. This is x. And from the bottom of the tree, when I draw the line of sight, right, the angle of elevation is y. This is the most important part of the question. You should be able to draw this. So from the top of the tree, the angle of elevation to the top of the building is x degrees. From the bottom of the tree, the angle of elevation to the top of the building is y degrees. The height of the tree is h. Height of the building we are taking as h plus some extra part, h dash. So basically you have to evaluate what h dash is and then find out h and h dash. I mean h plus h dash. Okay. Now if you see, there are two right angle triangles. There are two right angle triangles here. The smaller, this triangle, if I have to note down, if I have to, let's say, give A, B, this is not required in the exam, but if you want to be clear about the solution, there are two triangles here. Basically, ABD is one triangle. So look at triangle ABD. What do we see in triangle ABD? We can say tan y equals to, tan is what, opposite by adjacent, right? Let's assume the adjacent, the distance between the tree and the building is d. So tan theta is opposite side by adjacent side, so h plus h dash by d, right? Look at triangle, look at the other triangle, the triangle CED, right? In this triangle, tan theta is opposite side by adjacent side, h dash by adjacent side is d. See, if AB is d, C is also d, right? I'm sure you don't have to write so much in the exam. Yeah, you don't have to write so much in the exam because this are all understanding, right? D, all that can be skipped so that you save time. Now the point is, we have to first find out what h dash is. So let's divide these two equations. I can say tan y by tan x equals to h plus h dash by d divided by h dash by d. So that becomes d by h dash. You understand? I am dividing this one by this one. So tan y by tan x equals to h plus h dash by d divided by h dash by d, which becomes d by h dash. So d and d gets cancelled. We have h plus h dash by d. So that's like, yeah. So this is like h plus h dash by h dash. What do we do? Yeah, so I think let's split this. So basically what we get is tan y by tan x equals to h by h dash plus h dash by h dash is equal to 1. You understand? H by h dash plus h dash by h dash is equals to 1. So from this I can say what is h dash going to be? Tan y by tan x minus 1 equals to h by h dash, which implies h dash is equal to h into tan y by tan x minus 1. Or since I can see all the options are in terms of cot, let me change this to cot. So what happens? We can finally say h dash is equal to h into, see this tan y by tan x can be taken as cot x by cot y, because 1 by tan x is cot x and 1 by tan y is cot y. So cot x by cot y minus 1, which is h into cot x minus cot y by cot y. That's it. I think that's what we required, right? We wanted h dash. H dash has been obtained. Now now I think we have to find out the height of the building is required, right? So h plus h dash. So height of the building will be h plus h dash. So add one h to this h dash. So h plus h into, and I think now you can simplify. So if you see, if we take this cot y as the LCM, h cot y and minus h cot y gets cancelled. Why is that I'm not sensing any option is correct? Or I mean, why is that I'm sensing that the answer is wrong? Because answer that I'm getting is wrong, because h plus h dash is what we needed. We have got h dash as h into cot x minus cot y by cot y. Let me just quickly check this. Tan y by tan x. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I'm wrong from this step onwards. I did not cross multiply it properly. H dash was equal to h into, I should have taken simplified format here. I'm sorry. That's why we are going wrong. Let me just clear the last part of it. Just hold on. Yeah, so I think this is how you evaluate basically. You have to find out the height of the building in terms of cot x, cot y and whatever it is given there. What I shall do is I can say h dash into, see tan y by tan x minus 1 equals to h, and basically tan y by tan x can be taken as cot x by cot y. Yeah, so if you simplify it further, we'll get h dash into cot x by cot y minus 1 equals to h, or I mean overall if you see, h dash will be equal to h into cot y by cot x minus cot y. And now the height of the building equals to h plus h dash. So basically h plus h dash is this, h cot y by cot x minus cot y. So if I take LCM as cot x minus cot y, I'll get the answer. So h cot x, you understand, h cot x minus h cot y plus h cot y gets cancelled. So we'll be left with h cot x. Yeah, that's the answer. H cot x by cot x minus cot y. H cot x by cot x minus cot y. Option 3 will be the final answer. You getting it? H plus h dash. We have found h dash to be this. Just add h to it. So h cot x minus h cot y and plus h cot y. So minus h cot y plus h cot y gets cancelled. We will have h cot x in the numerator. Denominator will have cot x minus cot y. Option 3 is the final answer. Sorry about that error in one of the steps that I had committed. I think I directly took the part on the right hand side without cross multiplying it properly. Yeah, so that was the question on heights and distance. I think we have 2 or 3 questions on geometry. Let's quickly take those up and then we'll move on to the reasoning part. Yeah. Look at this one now. Try this. These are all standard questions. We have discussed all these concepts in our videos on geometry. The discussion is on circles here. So try this out. It says if I is the incenter of triangle ABC and angle BIC equals to 135 degrees, then angle ABC is equal to what? So this concept is on incenter. Try it out. You know what the incenter is, right? Incenter is the point of intersection of the angular bisectors of a triangle. Is it an acute angle triangle, equilateral triangle, right angle triangle, or obtuse angle triangle? Right angle triangle, did you all get that? Option 3. Done? Right angle triangle. Yes, that's the answer. See what happens. It says if I is the incenter of triangle ABC and angle BIC equals to 135 degrees, then triangle ABC is. So it's like this. Let's say there is a triangle ABC. ABC. Now you know what I is, right? I is the incenter. What is incenter? The point of intersection of the angular bisectors. So this is the angular bisector of angle A, angular bisector of angle B, angular bisector of angle C. This point of intersection is called I. And with I as the center, when we draw a circle, what we get is called a incircle, which touches all the sides of the triangle internally. Right? Now, it says the angle BIC is 135 degrees. BIC. This angle is 135 degrees. Now, try to understand, if you look at this triangle, BIC, if I take that part out, BI and C here, we know this angle is 135, right? See, try and understand. This whole angle is B. This whole angle is C. What we get inside the triangle BIC is half of B. B by 2. This is B by 2. This is B by 2. This is B by 2. The vertex is B. This vertex is C, but the angle inside is B by 2. Right? This angle inside is B by 2. Sorry, C by 2. C by 2, C by 2. You're getting it? The full angle is B. Angular bisector will divide the angle equally. Again, don't ask a question, how is it B by 2? Why can't it be B by 3 and 2B by 3? This is angular bisector, right? It will bisect the angle. So what we have, this is B by 2. What we have this side is C by 2. So B by 2 plus C by 2 plus 135 should be equal to 180. So if you observe, we can say angle B by 2 plus angle C by 2 equals to 180 minus 135, because the other angle of the triangle is 135, which is 45 degrees now. So half of B and half of C is 45 degrees, which implies B plus C equals to 90 degrees. The full angle B, full angle C is 90 degrees. Now try and understand. If this angle B plus this angle C is 90 degrees, the overall in the triangle ABC, in triangle ABC, A plus B plus C should be equal to 180 degrees. We know that B plus C is 90, which implies A will be equal to 90. 180 minus 90 is 90. If A is 90 degrees, can I say this triangle ABC is a right angle triangle? Yes. So option 3, right angle, is the correct answer. It's the concept of circles involving incenter. You don't have to solve this in the exam, I'm sure we'll remember. I mean, you know what happens, right? This is 135, the sum of the half of other two angles is 45, meaning the sum of the other two angles is 90. So that triangle has to be right angle triangle. You can remember the value in coordinate. I mean, the angle formed at the incenter is 135 degrees with two of the vertices, then the third vertex will be a right angle. Standard concept. Just if you can just recall this at the right time, you will be able to mark the answer without having to do anything in the solution there. Okay, let's take up the next question, which is based on circumcenter now. Here we go. S is the circumcenter of triangle ABC and angle A is 50 and the value of angle BCS. S is the circumcenter. You know what circumcenter is, right? In fact, there are all shortcut formula given for such questions. If you go through the videos, formula have been given, which I don't think you need to learn by heart, but if you have learned the formula by heart, you will know how to get the answers directly without having to draw the diagram. Yeah, all the formula have been given. You can substitute the 50 degrees value in the formula to get the required answer. Anyway, let's take it up. It says if S is the circumcenter of triangle ABC, then and angle A is 50 degrees, then what's the value of angle BCS? So let's say this is the triangle ABC. S is the circumcenter. S is the circumcenter, right? You know what circumcenter is, right? Circumcenter, if you take as a center of a circle and then try to draw a circle there, you will get a circle which touches all the vertices of this triangle. Anyway, now the question here is angle A is 50 degrees, right? Then the value of angle BCS, this angle. I mean, we form a triangle here, right? So BCS, this is equal to what is the question? Now we know from the, one of the important theorems of circle, that if the angle formed by a chord on the other arc is 50 degrees, then the angle formed by the same chord at the center of the circle will be twice of that. This is going to be 100 degrees. It's a very, very standard theorem and very, very useful, very, very important. You should just remember this. BC is a chord. The angle formed by BC on the arc, on the other side of the arc is 50 degrees, right? So the angle formed by the same chord at the center of the circle will be twice of that angle formed at the arc. So if this is 50, this will be 100. Now, if you observe this triangle BCS, we're just revisiting the concept so that you get it clearly. If you observe, this is 100 degrees, we know. And SC and SB both are radius. This is the radius of the circle, this is the radius of the circle. In fact, SA is also radius. So, meaning, if this is R, this also is R. The two sides are equal. If these two sides are equal, these two angles should also be equal. Angle B should be equal to angle C. We know that B plus C, angle B plus angle C equals to 80 degrees. Why is it so? The total sum of all the angles in a triangle should be 180. If this is 100, the sum of the other two angles should be 80. And B and C both are equal. So can I say angle C here will be equal to 40 degrees? Yes. Both are equal. And sum is 80. So angle C will be 40. That's your answer. Option 2. Angle C is nothing but angle BSC. I mean BCS. BCS. Angle C here refers to angle BCS. It will be an isosceles triangle basically. This will be an isosceles triangle because the two sides are equal, right? Both these are representing the radius of the circle. So it will be an isosceles. Yes? Okay. Quickly, one question on circumcenter again, and then we'll move on to, I think, the reasoning part. There's nothing to be solved in reasoning as such. We'll take up some 4-5 questions. Here we go. If O is the circumcenter of triangle ABC and angle OBC is 35, then angle BAC is equal to what? Same concept, whatever you've done here. If OBC is 35, then OCB is also 35, which means the sum of these two angles is 70. Then the other angle should be 110. If that is 110, then the angle at the circumference should be 55. That's the logic. You getting it? Use the same concept. There's a triangle ABC. ABC. S is the circumcenter, or O is the circumcenter, let's say. Right? We have got a circumcenter. We've got a circumcircle like this, right? Now, OBC, this is 35 degrees. We have just discussed that if this is 35, I mean from the circumcircle when you connect to the vertex, it will be the radius of the circle, right? So this is 35, this also will be 35 because this is an isosceles triangle. Yes or no? The triangle found will be an isosceles triangle. If this is 35 and 35, what should this angle be? 110. Because sum of all the angles is 180 degrees. 35, 35, 70, this should be 110. 110 plus 70, 180. If this is 110, the angle on the circumference should be 55, half. And that's what is asking. Angle BAC. BAC. This angle is 110. This would be half of 110. Which is 55 degrees. Option 1. Yes. So important concepts. In-center, circumcenter, right? The concept related to medians, you know, and other things. All these important things you must know. Even if you don't remember the formula. Like for example, for me, I actually don't remember the shortcut formula that I had taught in the videos. And I don't believe that anybody should learn those by heart because, see, if you can recall, well and good. But if you're not able to recall, then it becomes a problem. So the concept is important. That's the reason in all these 3 questions that we've solved, we've not used the formula that we had actually discussed in the video. We had discussed the concept also in the video. The same concept is being used. It's very quick. See, explanation is taking time, but when you do it yourself in the exam, it would be really very quick, right?